This morning, while I was spending my time in prayer with God, I feel like He was bringing some really important things to my mind, basically basic and foundational. And that was, why are we here? I think a lot of times we as humans get kind of messed up of why we're really here. When you really look at God's word and see the thing that He created us for was to have a relationship with Him, to be able to experience His love for us and be able to love Him back and be in a personal relationship. And I think when we get outside of that and we think it's about something else, then it kind of messes us up. We get all kinds of things that we try to put in that place of a relationship with God. Could be anything, could be sports. We're all about our health and trying to be as healthy as we are in our athletics and our sports. Or it could be about our center of our life and our focuses, our gender or our sexuality or the color of our skin, or business, our work, making money, that is like the focus and who we are and what we're chasing after and what takes the majority of our time and thought. Or even our kids, they're the center of our life and they're everything. And that is the most important thing to us that we think about the most. I think when we get off track, and even, what we call church in America, we kind of worship the building, the brand, more than we're worshiping Christ. We focused more on working to keep this church business running than we do focusing on our actual relationship with God, which is the reason He put us here. What God has us doing in our relationship with Him, He calls us to go and make disciples. But that's not, making disciples is not the reason we're here. We make disciples so that other people can have a relationship with God. I think when we get out of that being the reason we're here and the most important thing in our life, that's when we come up with, we have these mental health problems. We don't feel fulfilled. We feel like we kind of wonder if our life has meaning. We don't have joy. We don't have peace. And I think that's because we've got our focus on the wrong thing. It's not about our relationship with God. It's kind of like putting a square peg in a round hole, or one of the analogies that I kind of comes to my mind is like, we're working on something and we need a hammer. But instead of getting a hammer, we decide to get a crescent wrench, because we can use a crescent wrench as a hammer. We could pound things with that. But it's not what it's made for. It's going to malfunction. It's going to break. It's not what it's here for. And when we're trying to do something else as the center and the focus and the purpose and reason of our life, other than being in relationship with our Creator, our God, we're going to malfunction. We're not going to work properly. Something's not going to seem right. And, I think back before I knew God, I was living for the world full bore. I was going totally in the opposite direction of God and God's ways. And I kept coming to the point where I'm feeling like, something's missing. Seems like there's got to be more to life. And it wasn't until God finally got my attention and my focus that I started feeling like I found the purpose for life. This is the reason for life, and that's why God put us here. And we should worship God, and He should be the focus of our life, because we wouldn't even be here if it weren't for Him. We wouldn't be able to survive if He didn't give us everything we need to survive: our food, our water, our air, the earth to live on. It only makes sense when you break it all down and you think about it, that if we really want to be fulfilled in life, if we want to feel like we have purpose and feel fulfillment in life, peace and joy, that we really need, and it's the most important thing, to be putting God first and centering our lives on God rather than ourselves and what our sinful nature desires, which is going to lead us in the wrong direction and cause problems in our lives. We're going to be the crescent wrench trying to be a hammer pounding things in, and it's not going to work. We're going to malfunction. We're going to break. But when we focus on God and have Him as the center of our life, then we are going to be whole. We're going to be fulfilled. We're going to be on target to the whole purpose and reason of why God created us and put us here in the first place.